this is realgamernews.com. We're about to get into some discussions about, the Sony marketing and what's going to happen next gen with, if they come out first or whatever, or if they have all the games ready. Is that going to make a difference, and how it was last gen with the Xbox 360 coming out first, or, are they gonna, is it going to be neck and neck, or are they going to pull through? I'm here with my boy Hitman and Tristan. About to
Yeah,
get this started. What's going on, fellas?
what up?
What up, man?
What's going on? So what do you guys think about how the PS4 is most likely to come out before the 720? You think that's gonna be a big step from last gen? It's definitely gonna make a difference, but to say who's to say? Is it gonna be positive or negative for him?
Well, I honestly think that there's gonna be a slow transition, and the fact that um, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 are gonna be much cheaper after that happens. I
Mm,
think that their sales are not really gonna see a damage. I can see like the first year, like a spread being half the people buying the old systems and half the people buying the new systems, and then after that, there's going to be more of a shift towards the new systems, I think. But
mm,
the people that are going to say like, f that, I can't afford to be buying all these $60 games all the time. I can go buy a PS3 instead, and all the games are cheap now because they're getting
yeah,
outdated and phased out. So I think there'll be plenty of time for those two systems to still exist. I would say probably multiple years with new games coming out, and then once those games stop coming out, they'll probably have a few more years after that to still stay selling the old games. I really don't see them slowing down. I think, how Sony proved with the PlayStation 2 just getting closed off the market very, very recently. I think it was some point last year they stopped selling PS2s, making brand new PS2s.
mm,
Like they still stores are still selling all the off product, but
yeah. All the
Sony's not
used games
manufacturing
and
them anymore. Yeah, I think with that PlayStation 3 Super Slim, they're going to be manufacturing that for a long time.
yeah. No, no, I agree. I agree. I think that because the last gen started out really slow just because of the price points, and I think they're still gonna stay stagnant for at least next couple years. I do agree. I don't know if it's gonna. I mean, if that's the case, it might affect the PS4 sales and 720 sales because we still don't know the prices of that yet. But it might do some damage, in, in the beginning. But we'll see how it turns out for
Yeah, I more expect that scenario, but even still, I do think that a lot of people are going to embrace these new systems right off the bat. It's still going to be a really healthy launch.
mm,
It's just that people would like to nowadays would like to see a product come out and be tested by other people with more money than them
yeah,
first, and then
yeah,
once they've seen that that's people are loving it,
promising.
and and the word of mouth gets around. Oh, my buddy has a PS4, and he said that shit's really good,
Mm,
and I went over there and played the other day. Now I want one. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that has to happen first before the
yeah.
whole mainstream market's gonna get them. And this time I think PS4, at least I can speak for because they've already shown their hand or a little piece of it. They have the games to do that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's it's a big difference from the last generation where they came out and they had like literally no games. I mean, some, but everybody's complaining about they have no games. And obviously that hurts sales because word of mouth is a part of sales and people are saying, oh, don't get it yet. Wait until they get games for it actually.
Yeah.
And word
Yeah,
of
it
mouth.
hurt them for sure.
Yeah, and this generation, they showed games they had in the works for some for 9 years. Evolution Studios had a Drive Club, and they've been working on it and just waiting for the tech to come. And some of the games, it looks like they'll be out right off the bat. And they didn't have any top exclusives last generation. Initially, they had Uncharted, a new exclusive, Heavenly Sword, Call of Duty, which is an exclusive, but it's a bigger game. But the PlayStation brand, they want their main exclusive games that they love. Gran Turismo that didn't come out for a while. They had to bring out the prologue just to get some people interested and not keep them waiting. And this generation, it seems like they're relying on they're brands that aren't as popular, like Killzone, they might come out with, early on, and Drive Club is a new IP, so it's like they're taking a different approach, but I do agree that they're doing the right thing by coming out first. But we'll see what happens, with the games, because that's, the main point of the console. It's, that's where the fan base is. It's in the games.
Tristan, what do you think about the Xbox 360 and 720? How do you think that transition is going to play out, and what do you think is going to affect sales with that?
It just depends on when they announce it. I say if they come out in next year, it would be Halo 5 would probably be ready, and that would definitely be a very strong launch for them because with some of the games that PS4 is going to have coming out, they look very, very good. But we still don't know all the games they have, so maybe they could have some, maybe some new IPs that could be exclusive finally, because a lot of their exclusives that were on 360 had some transitions, like Bioshock was originally 360 exclusive, now it's PS3 and Xbox. And Mass Effect, there's another good example. Like that game, 2 months after it was announced, or 2 months after it came out, it's gonna, we already know that something new's going on with it. And then, there's a bunch of games like that. They had a bunch of good games, but then they were transitioning over to other consoles later. So it's like all that they really have at the end of this generation is the only ones that are really kind of left alive are Gears of War, Halo, and Forza Motorsport. Because I think Fable's probably reached its expiration date. Just to
Mm,
be honest.
mm,
So if they can get some really good games or get Halo 5 out as a launch, then yeah, they're gonna. I think because Halo 5 will be some of their big sales, or maybe if they could, like I said, they get some new IPs in there. We'll just have to wait and see because we don't know all what's going on. Maybe they could be bring back some old exclusives because we've seen companies do that in the past.
yeah, because we know that Halo was the brand that always sold Xbox, and we know Microsoft always had a awesome marketing scheme. They put it out in 7-Elevens with all these very big budget for the marketing, and but they don't have a lot of first party devs. But so they're relying on Bungie and Epic. So I do think I will see Epic and Bungie coming out with more new IPs. Just like Sony, taking developers for Naughty Dog, and instead of having Crash back alive again, they made a new IP just to appeal to more gamers, having more spectacular games, because Bungie's coming out with, what was the name of the game?
Destiny.
Destiny, and that, I think they have faith in Bungie, and they're pulling out that game just to show Sony that they have what it takes to keep up the games market as far as exclusive games, because like Tristan said, they lost a lot the last generation, and I think new IPs is going to be the key for this generation, because Sony has a lot of the first party devs, and Microsoft sees that they could either buy a lot of IPs, which they did last generation, but they really want to focus on like really AAA titles, like just to appeal to everybody else, like as a gamer, you know. So I think that they'll come out with newer IPs this gen, and use their resources they have, and have their top developers, coming out with a couple different new IPs. In my opinion, anyways, that would be the
Yeah, that
smartest move. I
that would
think
be great.
Destiny, maybe Bungie comes out with another game, maybe an online only game or something, just something maybe like Halo, but not a shooter, like
Well,
third
nah,
person
they're
shooter or
they're putting
something.
all their might behind Destiny,
Yeah,
but there is
but they
multiplayer
still have
to it.
Halo too.
What?
Um, Halo is sold to Microsoft now. 343 is the
Yeah, yeah.
top
Bungie,
notch.
yeah, bro. Bungie's Activision. They make that game's coming on PS4.
Wait, what game's coming on PS4?
Destiny.
Sorry. Okay.
It's coming out for on Xbox too, or at least it most likely will be.
It's
That,
it's gonna come out on the 360, the PS3, the PS4, and assumingly the 720.
Okay, and then they have other ways of getting around that, like they can promote their online, how they say it's better and everything, and they still have a fan base with the online games, because like Call of Duty sells more on the Xbox 360,
Yeah, I
Halo's an
hear you.
online Halo's an online game, and Destiny, if it's an online game, if Bungie's making it, people are like, oh, if they have both consoles, I might buy it for the Xbox 360 because they have live and stuff like that, and that's where they still have a fan base. It depends on the type of game, because
Yeah,
each console has their.
every single game that goes multi-platform for 720 is gonna hurt PS4. They need every exclusive they could get
Yeah.
because Xbox 360 people have been like satisfied with a small amount of exclusives towards the end of their in the middle of the end of their life cycle. So if they even have a few good exclusives, then Sony's not going to be able to take away their core audience. But
Yeah,
if they can crush them down to like a very small number, they might be able to
especially
do it.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Especially the shooter department, because Halo.
Especially the shooters. Yeah,
If
if Sony has extra money, they might as well throw in some money and get some of those exclusives
Yeah,
paid for
I mean,
PS4.
hey, Killzone 4 looks really good. It depends how they market it. How really how much it could compete with Halo and Call of Duty. But Microsoft has if Destiny is anything like Halo, then consider that an Xbox win right there. Because that's where the majority of the people will be buying it for. It's like, oh, it's like Halo. That's where, or if it's like Halo, then that's where the Halo fans are. That's where the Destiny fans will most likely be in on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why Activision's not going to let them back out of releasing it on 360 and 720, even if they
Hmm.
wanted to.
Yeah, if it's gonna be on 360 and 720, that's a very smart move because a lot of people aren't going to buy the 720 at first. Maybe for a couple of years they'll be gaming on the 360 and PS3. But
Maybe we'll just have to wait
maybe.
and see.
Yeah, I mean, I know it depends on the price point too, because if it's $700, I might as well get another PS3 as well, And people who are still haven't got the PS3 yet, they're not going to buy. They might buy the PS4, but I see still
I'm
sales.
pretty sure it's going to be like $400, you guys.
That's still, it's not necessarily too
Yeah.
much. We'll be set up here because I'll have an Xbox and John will have a PS4, so it'll all work out. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I would definitely want to get a PS4 this time around because
Mm-hmm.
I got rid of the PS3. Big mistake I ever made.
Mm. No, yeah, I mean, hopefully I can own both consoles next generation. But I might wait and see to what the 720 is before I buy the PS4. Because
Well,
it's a
that's what
lot of
the thing
money,
is
and
right now. You want to
hmm?
you got to wait and see what kind of features they're gonna have because they're
Yeah,
both gonna be
exactly.
different. They're not
Because
gonna be
like
exactly the same.
yeah, because
What about a Wii U or a Steam box? You guys going to get those?
Maybe a Steam box. I'll have to see if Wii
maybe
U come out with any, you know,
worthwhile
like
games.
like a new badass Zelda game or something like that. Then
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I might be able to get it.
yeah, because
But
I'll get the Wii U if it has like a crazy new Mario game that's fucking awesome, fun, easy to play and stuff like that. I'll be all over the Wii U. But as of right now, I'm good with the PS3 and Xbox 360, and the PS4 is coming out. So, in my opinion, it was kind of bad timing for the Wii U for me personally. But I'll wait and see. Maybe in the future I'll definitely pick one up. If they have something crazy for it.
Industry analysts and stuff are saying that Nintendo made a big mistake with Wii U and they're never going to be able to recover. But they have a lot of money right now. So what do you? And the 3DS had some serious problems with sales, but it recovered, of course, because it's a handheld and it's
Mm.
Nintendo. But what do you
Well,
guys think about those comments? Do you think Nintendo can just do whatever they want now because they have so much money? It doesn't matter
that's.
how many sales they get, or do you think that they did make a mistake because Wii U sales are already down to six digits?
I mean, that's a
uh,
good point. You got Trishan.
well, it just depends. Like I know Nintendo has a bunch of money, and I don't think some of their big characters would ever die off like Mario and Zelda, but I think Nintendo could possibly die off. This may not affect them right now, but maybe next gen or the gen after that, you could see there could be maybe no more Nintendo where Nintendo is going to be, because they've been behind basically, ever since the Wii, I'm going to say they've been behind because GameCube and PS2 and Xbox are all pretty close to each other. But the Wii, ever since then, it's like we've seen this drop in their handhelds have been getting sold out by Sony's handhelds, and their consoles have usually been in last place. Their Wii U's even behind the 360 and PS3 in terms of sales, I believe.
Mm. I mean, I think that even if they do have a lot of money, backed up by the Wii and the DS and all of the remarkable sales they pulled last gen, um, if they feel if it was a bad move, and I'll tell you my opinion on that in a minute. If they feel it's a bad move, they will know when to call it quits and restart. If they lose enough money, their production is, you know, far from their expectations. They're producing too much more, and it's not, making any sales. I think they'll pull out, and if they have the money, they'll restart. But I think Nintendo's too smart to really um, to fail like that. Epically fail after you having a really good marketing strategy last generation and selling all those consoles. They are
Mm.
behind in graphics, but I don't think that they're gonna really quit and just say, okay, we just lost. I think they're gonna maybe realize that they have to keep up with PS4 and 360, pull the Wii U, call it a freaking, make it a rare console that they only sold this many, have this many in the market, and maybe start over, start new, but,
That'd be pretty
I,
cool.
yeah, because I mean,
Be up.
go ahead.
So I'd be up for that to see them do that.
Yeah, because I was waiting for, the Wii to up its graphics, but it was too close to the next generation to really, be appealing to a lot of people. That's why you said the sales are down to six digits. It's like, what are they going to do now? It's like people want better graphics. They had a whole generation of sick graphics. The Uncharted and the Gears and everything. It's like, okay, now we want the next step. You don't want to, go back. You don't want to regress and have like the same games. Like, oh, Call of Duty's on the Wii U, but I already played that before. Unless they have exclusive deals, but those games have to be really, really awesome to really take a step back and play them. Even though they're unique, I think Nintendo's in a little bit of a pickle. They might really have to think about what they're doing now. Because Wii U obviously is not selling well, and with the upcoming PS4 and 720, probably right after that, it's like they have to think because the tablet they came out with is not enough of a gimmick, to justify that the graphics are weaker this time around.
Right. Right, and they sold their whole dream was that it's gonna be so much more powerful than PS3, and then the truth is it's not.
It's
And
if anything, it's a little bit right, graphic wise.
no, it's less powerful. They're
Mm.
fucking bullshit. That's just
Powerful, but like, from what I understand, maybe I'm wrong. Assassin's Creed looked a little bit better on Wii U. No.
I
No.
highly doubt that. I mean, people might say that and they might get
Mm.
that opinion or something, but
Yeah, I know it
the
looked good. It looked like PS3.
technologically speaking, because that's what they were originally saying that their CPU and their GPU is more powerful, like 4 times or 10 times or whatever,
Yeah.
3 times. Like story kept on changing. Well,
Mm.
technologically speaking, it's less powerful. It's not more powerful. But of course, every game's unique, and they might have pulled off something here and there once or twice. But in terms of like, we know for a fact PlayStation 4 is going to be more powerful than PS3. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not that kind of leap
Yeah.
with
It
Wii U.
sounded like a desperate comments.
Yeah, like desperate sales pitch,
Exactly. Yeah.
like trying to act like they're next gen.
Yeah. Just because they're desperate and they know it's not, they
And
have
now
to.
PS4 is coming, and put PS4 side by side with Wii U, and you'll understand that Wii U was never next gen, and it was never gonna be next gen, and whoever believed that it would be just kind of failed right there.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I give them, it's just like it was this gen, but very late.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's definitely like a competitor for the 360. It's not a
Mhm.
competitor for the PS4.
But at the same, their sales are low because they didn't really market it that much, did they?
No, they. I mean, that game system like doesn't even exist to a lot of people. They don't even know it
Yeah.
exists still.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, now I think of it like, they haven't marketed it. And if you look at their games, I mean, Mario, Zelda's and, Pikmin and their games don't really need really that good graphics because they're kind of, most of them are cartoony, the Super Smash Brothers. So if I think they might pull it off, but it's going to be like a really rough run for them if they have something up their sleeve. But just judging by their games, the graphics don't have to be that good to be fun and enjoyable, but they don't have a gimmick this time around. It's
Yeah, when they came out with that Wii commercial, that first commercial, even had me going, and it was just
yeah,
insane.
right, yeah. It's like
I have
wow, this.
my cousin works at GameStop, and she said people would come in and ask if they could take the Wii U controller and play it anywhere they want, and they had to tell them no, you can't do that, and they're like, well, we thought that's what it was. So it's like Nintendo did a really bad job at telling people what in the world their system does, because people thought they could take their controller anywhere. They're like, all right, well, can I just use this with my regular Wii? And they go, no.
Yeah, like have a Tamagotchi at least to take around with or something. It's what
Yeah,
I don't know
people
what.
had no idea what the Wii U really was or what it would do.
Mhm. Yeah, so I mean, that's another thing. They'll see they'll try to make it appeal to everybody, but we'll see if they can pull it off with the new paraphernalia they came out with. Just
Yo, when
parables. I'm sorry.
when people go when people go sorry. Yeah, when people go into GameStop now and they ask that question, Tristan, the GameStop employee is gonna have to tell them no. But if you have a PlayStation Vita and a PlayStation 4, you could do that.
Yeah, but with Wii U, they didn't do that with their controller.
It's gonna be a lot more expensive to get a Vita and a 4, but
Oh yeah,
It'll
that's
be
yeah.
worth it though, because it's got some really good ideas, which kind of
Yeah, I
leads me
mean,
to think that Microsoft might finally put a handheld out. I'm not entirely sure about that yet, though. Which, good idea for a name would that be? Xbox 180.
yeah, right.
See,
That's good.
see
That's
what I
good.
did there?
I see what
Yeah,
you did there. They gotta I don't know if they would do that still, only because they have the Surface out and they have the Windows 8 phones and tablets.
That is true, but
But they really should, to be honest, because I would never buy any of their products, the phones or not the tablets. I'll buy none of them, but I would totally buy a handheld Xbox gaming
get
system. That's only
handheld Halo.
Yeah, if it just
Oh
did
wow.
gaming like Vita, like I don't care about what else it does. I just want the gaming to be good.
Mm. I mean, I don't think they'll come out with if they come with the handheld, yeah, but it's not going to be bundled like the Wii U, obviously.
No,
And but I mean, we'll see what Sony does with the marketing for the Vita and the PS4 because honestly, it's very expensive, especially in like the how the recession is right now. It's like who
Yeah,
like some
I
people.
don't think that combo is like a direct competitor, but it is like a selling point for PS4 because it could make somebody say, "All right, well, I'm not gonna buy the Vita today, but I'm gonna get the PS4 and maybe get the Vita some other time."
Yeah,
Or they could say, "I'm gonna get the Vita today," and just forget about the hand consoles.
yeah, because honestly, I have a Vita now, and just because the PS4 is coming out, that is one of the factors that I want to get the PS4 now, just because I can stream games to it. And I mean, hopefully, I'll be able to stream games over 3G network, and that would be cool. That's a very big thing that Sony could put out there. It's like, oh, you could play PS4 games on your Vita anywhere you want. That's incredible.
They
It's
let
like,
you watch movies when you're on vacation. Your PSP, the PlayStation Portable, could turn on your PlayStation 3 and you could watch movies from the hard drive of the PS3 while you're like in another country.
yeah, it's crazy.
That was
So
that was impressive right there.
yeah, and if that was that was like this generation, next generation, the tech's a lot better from what we're hearing with the PS4 and all of the things that are coming out. I think that they might pull this off with the Vita and the PS4. It sounds like a dream, but hopefully it'll be a dream come true.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, it's been real, everybody. Keep checking us out. RealGamerNews.com. Peace.
Peace. Take care.
peace.